Hello and welcome back. My name's Chris from christopherhole.com. Thank you for coming to watch this video where we're going to be talking about what is obesity and how can we overcome it. Now, I'm going to answer 3 questions, much the same as the last video, but we're going to be talking about obviously what is obesity. We're then going to look at how does it happen, and then we're going to look at how can we overcome it. So the definition of obesity isn't that great. As you can read here, it's being grossly overweight. Now, that doesn't really help a lot of people because what is grossly overweight? What does that mean? So what I've done underneath is I've put some numbers next to it, and some numbers are better than others. You've got BMI here, which it's not a great number, but it does have its uses. Body fat percentage is a better number, but it can be quite limiting in the way that it's tested if someone is grossly or severely, as it says here, obese. But what you will get from it are some numbers. So with regards to BMI, if you are overweight, your BMI will be between 25 and 29.9. If you're obese, it will be between 30 and 39.9, and if you're severely obese, it will be 40 plus. So that will give us, or give you, an idea of where you are. Also with body fat percentage, it will do exactly the same. It will give you a good idea of exactly where you are, so then you can go about planning and putting in place where you need to go. So if you get a body fat percentage, or if you're male and you get a body fat percentage of 20 to 24.9, you will be classed as overweight. If you're female and you get a body fat percentage of 30 to 34.9, you'll be classed as overweight. Now these numbers, there are slightly different numbers depending on where you look, but this is a good general trend of the numbers. So overweight for males is low to mid 20s, overweight for females is low to mid 30s. When we talk about obese, it's men with a body fat percentage over 25% and females over 35%. Again, those numbers could be plus or minus 1 or 2 depending on where you look, but as a general rule, it's a pretty good idea of where you are. Now, how does all that happen? So how do you go, because obviously you're not born like that, so how do you go from that to being overweight or obese? So generally, I would say there's an emotional issue somewhere. Now that could be quite a traumatic emotional issue, or it might just be boredom eating, or you get overexcited and you eat too much, or you get depressed and you eat, so on and so forth. So it doesn't mean that there's a really sort of traumatic thing that's happened to you and then you had the emotional issue and then you became overweight from that. That can happen, absolutely, but with regards to the person listening to this, I don't know you and I don't know who you are and sort of what you've done in life. So there's generally some sort of emotional issue underlying it. But with regards to the actual functional practice in life, it's an excess of food, so you eat too much. You eat too much of the wrong thing, so you get a toxicity as well. And then there's a lack of exercise and activity. So it's very much, it's investigating what those are. So if you've controlled the way that you're eating, if you're eating a lot more of the right things and you're doing a lot more exercise and you're still obese or overweight, then you might want to start exploring the emotional issues that could be revolving around you, how you eat, how you look, whatever it might be. So it's starting to think about outside of the box a little bit more, and that will require you to have some degree of honesty with yourself, but it will be rewarding in the long run. So how do we overcome them? Well, first of all, as I mentioned in the last video, you've got to prioritise a healthier lifestyle. You've got to know your numbers. So as I mentioned before, go and get yourself tested or assessed and find out where you are, because it's only where you are, when you know where you are, can you get to where you want to get. Then it's about setting a goal. So making sure you set that body fat percentage. You know, you want to be in the healthy range. So let's just say for females it might be 22. For males, it might be 15 or 18% or something like that. So you set that goal. Then it's building a flexible plan of small changes. So if you are at 30% body fat and you want to get down to 18, it might just be take it 2% at a time, 2% at a time, 2% at a time. And make sure it's a flexible plan, simply because if you find that you're coming up against roadblocks or challenges, it just gives you that opportunity to go, right, I've changed the way I'm eating, I've changed the activity that I've worked on, and I've come up against these roadblocks. I'm going to take on these roadblocks over the next week, and then I'm going to get back on the plan. So it just gives you that opportunity to mold and change your plan according to the challenges or changes that need to be addressed at that time. So build that into your plan. Don't just think you've got to do it 24/7, 365 days a year. If you need to just take a few days off and readdress the plan, then do it. If you need to take a week off, readdress the plan, then do it. Because with a long-term view, that's gonna keep you successful than if you just jump off and think, oh, I'm done now. It's never going to happen to me, so on and so forth. So you've got to make sure you've got that flexible plan that keeps you moving, that keeps you going forward, and that keeps you taking on these challenges and overcoming them. So many thanks for watching. My name is Chris from ChristopherHall.com. I hope this video has been helpful for you. I hope you can take something away from it and build something into your lifestyle. So yeah, many thanks for watching. My name is Chris from ChristopherHall.com. I'll speak to you in a future video.